Hey guys, what's happening right now in what's happening right now in Georgia, Southeast Georgia? There's a big ongoing investigation of a South Korean plant that was brought there to Georgia in the last year. But there's a lot of unhiring and unnecessary, a lot of things going on there. It's not just immigration. I'm gonna say that first and foremost, not immigration, but it's more than it was investigation in their hiring practice and other situations. But let's without further ado, let's do the video, the news report, and find out what's going on at this Korean Hyundai plant that fired that the government detained 475 uh, employees there.
Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. Federal immigration agents detained more than 450 people at a Hyundai manufacturing site just west of Savannah, Georgia. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives said multiple agencies helped carry out this operation. Authorities claim it was connected to an investigation over unlawful employment practices. The 3,000-acre site has only been operational for a year. Let's go live now to CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez. Camilo, thank you for your time today. This raid happened at one of Georgia's largest and most high-profile manufacturing sites. So what does it tell you about the strategy of ICE when it comes to immigration?
Good morning, Mugo. Officials say that according to the Department of Homeland Security, nearly 500 people suspected of working and living in the U.S. illegally were detained during this operation, which officials say could be the largest single-site operation ever conducted in the history of Homeland Security investigations, a branch of the Department of Homeland Security that deals with labor trafficking and other immigration-related crimes. According to officials, multiple agencies were involved in this operation, including Border Patrol, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the ATF, the IRS, the FBI, and also the DEA. That really underscores, Mugo, the government-wide nature of the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. Most of the detainees, according to officials, are nationals of Korea. Let's take a listen to how one ICE official described the operation.
This was not a immigration operation where agents went into the premises, rounded up folks, and put them on buses. This has been a multi-month criminal investigation where we have developed evidence, conducted interviews, gathered documents, and presented that evidence to the court in order to obtain a judicial search warrant. Yesterday, we executed that search warrant and gathered additional evidence that will support this investigation. There are no criminal charges being announced today, but this is an ongoing matter.
And Mugo, we should underscore that the Trump administration, since the president took office for a second time, has already conducted several large-scale immigration enforcement operations at work sites across the country, including at a meatpacking plant in Nebraska and a horse racetrack in Louisiana.
And Camilo, Hyundai is a South Korean company, so any response so far from the Korean government about this?
Yes, indeed, Mugo. A spokesperson for the South Korean government said in part, and I quote, "The economic activities of our companies investing in the U.S. and the rights and interests of our nationals must not be unfairly violated." So clearly, the government of South Korea wants the U.S. to respect the due process rights and the legal rights of the people from their country who are now facing deportation. We are told by officials, Mugo, that most of those detainees have been moved to a detention center in Georgia, where they are being processed for deportation.
Camilo, I want to pivot to some of your own original reporting. A Navy base in Chicago could be used to accommodate federal agents ahead of a possible federal deployment. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, Mugo, we obtained an internal Department of Homeland Security memo that shows the Trump administration asked the Secretary of Defense to allow a naval base in Illinois to be used as a staging area of sorts for a large-scale immigration operation campaign in the Chicago area in the coming days and weeks. We are told by Homeland Security officials that some Border Patrol and ICE agents have begun moving into this facility known as the Great Lakes Naval Station about an hour north of Chicago, as well as equipment that is staging there is also arriving to that base. And we are told that these operations in Chicago could start as soon as today and this weekend. This is part, of course, of a broader Trump administration effort to really crack down on so-called sanctuary cities by sending more manpower and resources to target people who are suspected of being in the country illegally. The administration, as you know, is also targeting these cities with lawsuits and threats to withhold federal funding. Mugo.
Okay, guys. Well, let's get back to South Korea, Georgia plant. Just hearing the CEO and the government over in South Korea trying to dictate rules in the United States with our investigations and American investigations and what we're carrying out and mandating that we should be careful with their citizens and national citizens. Well, first of all, we're not a third world nation. We're a first world nation. We're one of the most powerful nations on the planet. So I don't think you should be able to tell the United States what to do. And we will. We have shown to show diplomacy in our actions. Um, and if you're known to have people working that's from your country and you're not hiring American citizens, do you think that should be allowed? And if these people are stand here and working these jobs at the Korean, and because you gave money to um, the United States government to facilitate the transitioning your company into the United States, like America will give it to your nation when we facilitate U.S. companies into your country. That doesn't give us the right to violate your country rules and regulations and national sovereignty rules and laws. So you can't dictate another nation. So I wonder how this is going to play out. What is your opinion? Leave a comment, subscribe, like down below. Let me know what you think about this. And the statement on um, Chicago Great Lakes, what's going to happen over it. It's been approved. Uh, it's been approved, and it's moving forward in that situation with Chicago. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think we know that it's gonna move forward, and we see. I got one more video to show you. We see that it's moving the direction that they're planning on moving towards. So um, it's amazing what's happening now in Detroit, and we're gonna listen to what the Korean government had to say. Just a short. I don't know if I want to play this one because it's predominantly in Korean, but you have to look at the highlights of what's happening there and what they feel about the situation. So let's see what they got to say without further ado.
Of some workers, construction workers at the
Okay, guys, what do you feel about this? Um, is it wise? Like, what's the benefit? You give us a front money, the U.S. the country the front money, and then you move your company to make money off for the United States. Most of the vehicles going to be sold into America. Not saying all, but most are going to be sold into America, Mexico, and Canada. So you're using our plant, our location, and our land to open up your business. You're not giving us a benefit. It's a business deal. It's a win-win situation. But then you turn around and hire all illegal, knowingly you're hiring illegal nationals from your country to bolster your country resources, and you're not hiring American citizens at a large rate because they said it detained over 475 undocumented workers, illegal workers from, and a large percentage of them was from Korea. So the large percentage of them or you knew you hired, and this has been an investigation, you knew you hired illegally. Why don't you stand? Why haven't you said nothing about that? Why haven't you acknowledged that? And now that we're doing something about it, the U.S. Administration is doing something about it. On that worker, it's only about labor. It's not about immigration. It's about labor. And we usually want a large percentage of people in that country. I expect if I open up a business in another country, they expect me to hire a large percentage of their population to give them jobs in the area. I'm bringing a company in. But if I turn around and hire just most of the United States citizens that knows my customs, my culture, and know my language, I'm violating the relationship that they would on their end. They thought they was winning because they don't get some of their unemployed people employed there in the company. And the turnaround is not that the ratio is not what we expected. And so you listen to a couple people speak about this and tell you about how they felt about this and what their investigation was. Just watch this. Watch a little longer. World,
조지아주에 소재한 우리 기업의
the world
배터리
company
공장
must
건설 현장을 단속했으며
recognize.
그 결과 470
You really got to recognize you can't be opening up a company like before in the other old administrations where you just do what you want to do and you think it's going to be all right. This is a different administration. We're focused on American citizens, employment, everything as America. So you got to be prepared.
In Georgia, with the arrests of some workers, construction workers at the plant, have you heard any feedback from Hyundai?
I just heard about that a little while before the news conference, and I would say that they were illegal aliens, and ICE was just doing its job. But I know nothing about the instance. It happened a little while ago. Okay?
There has been some pushback on that, though, from South Korea already, and of course, they pledged to invest 150 billion in the U.S. when they were just here, last week. Are you concerned?
Well, and
at
they
all?
have the right to sell cars and things in our country. It's not like a one-sided deal.
Are you concerned at all about, your immigration agenda potentially clashing with these economic goals?
Well, we want to get along with other countries, and we want to have a great, stable workforce. And we had, as I understand it, a lot of illegal aliens, some not the best of people, but we had a lot of illegal aliens working there. So, look, they're doing their job. That's what they have to do. These are people that came through with Biden. They came through illegally. They came into our country. So we have to do our job.
Mr. President. My second question, Alligator Alcatraz, sticking with Florida, a major ruling appeals court blocked a federal judge's order to close it, and it can remain open for now. Your reaction?
I think they've done a fantastic job in building it, the governor and everybody else that's been involved. It's an incredible facility. It's housing people for usually a very short period of time before they get brought back to their countries. As you know, we focus on criminals before we focus on anybody else, and we're taking thousands and thousands of criminals out every month out of our country, some of them murderers. And I think Florida's done a great job by building it. And whether it's Alligator, Alcatraz, or anything else you want to call it, I was there. I visited with the governor, with other people. I guess Nikki was there. Tom Homan's been there a lot. A lot of people have been there from. It's an amazing facility for what it is. It's not a hotel. It's not supposed to be a hotel, but they've done a great job with it. And I'm very happy with the judge's decision.
You also mentioned
Terrible thing. It comes through Canada and it comes through Mexico, but a lot of it's coming through Venezuela. Venezuela's been a very bad actor.
What do you guys think? Do you think this is right? What we did? Now I just want to clarify. It wasn't. It was about labor. It wasn't necessarily about immigration, but immigration is a factor, a major factor in this. But the thing they was investigating. If you listen to the guy out of Georgia, out of the area, he was telling you it was an investigation. They got the warrant over here. Media. It always implicated the warrant. You got a search warrant from a judge, and he stated that this was an ongoing investigation. This wasn't just started overnight. This is playing out for months, and other people are talking about it. So, what's your opinion on it? Leave a comment. tell me what you think. Do you think the administration is doing a good job, or do you think that the Americans did the right good thing by taking these um, not not approved employees out of our country and giving the jobs, hope the jobs will be still available to American country. As the president said, I said earlier, he really reiterated that there was more opportunities for now Americans, and as he said, they're selling cars to Americans, and since it's so close to Canada and Mexico, they got that them two countries also all in North America. So that's a win-win situation. So you're not giving us nothing; it's a business deal, and so you could cancel that philosophy you was trying to push through the media. The reality is, you hire a lot of illegal people from your country and gave them opportunities in this country when you should have been hiring Americans. I don't care what type of American, Mexican, uh, Hispanic, Guatemalan, Black, African, as long as they're American, you should be hiring Americans. And we've seen that it wasn't the proportion it should be. So your intentions are already showing us with data that your intentions was not to work with America, was to benefit all around the board for your country and your countrymen. And it's okay, but we're not going to allow that. So now we're recognizing and we're dealing with it. So I wish the South Korean citizens safe trips, safe travels, and I hope we regroup. And I hope we don't have to shut down the company and deal with this in a more positive way. What is your opinion? What do you think? Leave a message down below. Okay, we'll stop here.